You seem to be telling us now that perhaps it's because the politicians themselves understand that this is how the game should be played and they've accepted it. That's why the media is not showing so much interest and desire and passion for covering the...
We have evolved a very negative, not even one, negative, political cultures, and this is just one of them. That and you cannot really, you can't divorce the media from politics and politicians, because who even midwives the politicians to start with? You will see somebody who's just coming in, maybe from the United States. Nobody knew him from a can of paints. He comes in. Who's going to put powder on his face? The media. Who's going to make him front page news? The media. Who's going to grant him several interviews and ingrain him into the people's consciousness? The media. And at the end of the day, people do all these things, and then we turn around to say we are the best. We are not the best. We're just like everybody else.
So the media is culpable.
Heavily so. I've always said it. Look, if you
negative.
want to look at people destroying, groups destroying Nigeria today, you first maybe take the military for their destructive influence for several decades. And they are a wing of the political wing. The military, then you take the politicians. Who are you going to take next? The media. The media. You will be a seriously biased person if you don't pick the media next. We do everything for
So
them.
you are saying after the politicians,
Yes.
is the media.
Yes.
In terms of the list
Who
of
else?
those who are destroying Nigeria.
Who else?
I can't say.
I'm telling you, I've been in the media for how many years? This has been my steady view.
Wow.
That we have been doing these things. We're on this side, we're on that side. Who is going to look? Okay, look at this person who, for the better part of my media run, I never missed any of his articles. I had to read his article weekly, week in, week out. And then he got to a point and he became the spokesperson of a president. And he spent time there. And every time people were heavily critical of that administration, he said his mother told him, "You must not talk when you are eating."
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Now he finished eating. He left the place. He went to contest, as the deputy,
Governor.
governorship candidate of, and then he left that, and he's now
Back in the field.
back adjudicating.
Well, some might say that's an isolated case.
It's not isolated. That's what most of us do. It's not isolated. And when I say us, it's not because I don't believe I'm far better than that. It's just because I don't like absolving myself. So I say we. And if you look at it, who becomes the media points man of a governor? Who becomes the media points people of presidents? Who does all these things?
Could that be the reason why a lot of people don't take us serious these days?
No, it's because people have common sense.
No.
That's one of the reasons they don't take us seriously. People have common sense. They know when you are, BSing them, and they just brush you aside. That's one. Two, the people have become journalists everywhere themselves on the social media. So they are breaking news. They are doing all sorts of stuff
Citizen journalists.
on the social media. I mean, for the better part, 95% of that is nonsense.
Yeah.
But you have
I
a
would say
few.
99.99.
I mean, real serious nonsense.
Yeah.
But you see, people have also given themselves to entertainment, and if you are not entertaining, many people are not listening to you, which is why you have heavy followership on the social media, dedicated to entertainment figures. So they have millions of followers, they have millions of this and that, because they are entertaining.
It's just titillation.
Yeah. So because people have been serious for a long time, and what did it
What did it fetch for
what
them?
did it profit them? So they just go and sit down with these journalists with your seriousness.
Because you seem to have been telling us now that agenda setting is a last consideration of a media practitioner these days.
If you are not in a position to set agenda, you can't set agenda. And if you're looking back, you're calling yourself a general and you don't have troops, you look back, there's nobody behind you. What kind of general is that? So I don't believe that we're in a position to even set any agenda.
You seem to have told us now that one of the reasons why the media is not so attracted to agenda setting function is because the audience which influences editorial content these days are not so much attracted to such esoteric issues anymore. People want to be entertained, they want to be titillated.
And people don't want people to waste their time. And if you are not in a position to do something, you shouldn't be pretending to be doing it. But at the core of it, finally, is what we've been taught. Because I ask myself a lot of questions about the questions raised, in our years of, tutorial years about the media has to set an agenda. Compulsorily, I don't think so. I think the media is, first and foremost about, telling stories. What happened? This is the story of what happened. What happened? This is the story. And that's, I think, the number one duty of the media. So everything else we developed, especially from sophisticated societies, from the advanced economies, and those ideas found their ways into our our courses, syllabus and everything. And I think we should be challenging some of those things, especially as the society turns furiously right through the times.
So those are exercises for media scholars.
Honestly,
Yeah.
because why should we be setting agenda? I think
For the society.
yes, I think the media should be trailing the agenda set by the society
Really?
and be reporting that, because when you go setting, agenda for the society, of course, what you're saying is you're taking yourself above that society.
Like a teacher. Because we say the media is supposed to be an educator of society.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
if you are going to perform,
I don't
your
know if that's right. Sincerely, there are a lot of things to, and this is the good thing about you educators, about you also teach us that we should relearn
yes.
and unlearn sometimes, right? That's what you tell us.
Yes.
And then we have to take that very seriously,
Yeah,
especially
because society is constantly in flux.
especially in our own, societies, in African societies. We have to unlearn a lot of things. We have to relearn a lot of things because we have been taught a lot of nonsense, sincerely.
Whoa. Well, let me redirect our conversation to the LG election and
Yes, the local government
media
election.
coverage and how the media is attending to it.
Yes.
The picture you have painted for me now seems so distressing, to put in mind,
Really?
demoralizing. The media seem to be the hope of a lot of people. That, okay, the media will help us to ventilate this issue. They will help us to galvanize the society. They will draw society's attention to gaps that needs to be addressed. But you seem to have made us to understand in this conversation that the media is not doing that with regards to the local government election, because the media seem to have accepted that the society has accepted that the negativity should continue as
No,
an issue.
nobody really, will settle down and say, let the negativity continue. If it were like that, you and I would not be talking about local government autonomy, which is what is going to bring about what you're looking for.
Okay.
You see, local government autonomy will bring about healthy competition. You see, this
Healthy competition in terms of
local government elections, which is never going to happen in the current status. This status quo will not make it happen. And so, if I am that informed about my situation, I know that this is a brick wall and I want to pass through it. Why would I want to do that? I wouldn't want to do that. It's not because I don't know it could be better. Yes, I know. But it's not going to happen by the media setting an agenda around that. It's going to happen by the media telling the story that we are telling right now, which is the truth, that if you go into a local government election, the governors have the power to make it happen this way and that way. That is the true story.
That's the reality on ground.
That is the role of the
Across
media.
the nation.
All the time, that's the role of the
But
media.
even that story is not being told from what we're getting.
Well, I think it's been overtold. Everybody knows that. I mean, it's really been told. Everybody knows it, including the page boy, mother of the day. Everybody knows it. That is how this thing is running. So that's the story. We have told the story.
That's what's on ground.
Now, what do we want to do about that? That's another matter entirely.
So what do we want to do about that?
What we should do about that is to rally, whatever forces we have, in favor of local government autonomy. When the local governments are autonomous, then you will have healthy elections. You will see the politicians will come out of the woodworks and fight to the death, just like they do during, gubernatorial and presidential and senatorial. And see, they know that the odds are open in all these other elections, but they know also that the odds are shut down in local government elections because
Against
the
the ruling
governor has the state.
So going by the analysis you have given us and the picture you have painted, do we have a second option? Is it a viable option if we move the organization of local government elections away from state independent electoral
INEC.
commissions to INEC? Would that work?
No,
As some people
no,
have
no.
canvassed?
I don't think it's going to serve us.
Oh, really?
Why do I, say so? What do we have from INEC in both presidential, senatorial, and gubernatorial reps right now? What do we have? Is
They
INEC
got it right in some
performing?
places, they didn't get it right in some places.
INEC is underperforming, overwhelming. So you're going to have the same thing going on there.
Really?
Yes, you'll have the same thing going on
But
there.
some
It
would
might
say-
even be a little bit more complicated.
Oh, really?
Yes, now because
How so?
because the center will now be able to break in, and then maybe you now have the center taking out local governments against whatever incumbent and so. So the thing is, that's why I don't even want to open that door. The thing that we should do is to have local government autonomy. That's how to wrestle, local governments free from, the governors. And the moment you have that, people have a level playing field and they will go to elections.
I will be speaking with Mr. Dr. Shashe, the maestro himself, immediate past general manager of Petals FM. Thank you very much for being on the program today to share your insights with us. And we have been looking at the coverage by the media of the upcoming Oyo State local government election. How far, thus far, in a qualitative sense and in a quantitative sense.